Hi guys, quick update here for Bitcoin technical analysis, 5th of October, Wednesday 2022. So the feeling on this market is it's still the same as it has been for most of the year. There is the potential we could rally out of here with a little oversold bounce. Doesn't change the long-term count, which is that this market is definitely destined to go lower, and eventually we have to consolidate, much like the S&P, between the pre-pandemic highs and the pandemic lows, right? So until Bitcoin comfortably trades in this range, you could consider this market effectively a trade. Of course, swing trading, 2 days to 6 weeks, which is really what the masterclass which I have developed is made for. That's very useful in this kind of market. You don't want anything longer than a 6-week time horizon because it's just too volatile. But from a longer term play, until Bitcoin is comfortably lower than 10,670 here and consolidates in this yellow box, we can't really call an end to this bear market. I honestly believe there is great opportunity here in these altcoins and the stocks, mind you, eventually, not just yet though. So that's the more longer term play. We have to go down into this box. I've done various YouTube videos which I've got bearish counts as low as 3,000 on this market. A more conservative target, 8 to 12,000. We're still at 20,000. So until we are comfortably sub 12k, you cannot call an end to this market, and I don't think one can properly dollar cost average in at these prices because the risk to the downside is still pretty heavy. Now, with that being said, everyone's got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count. We're going to go to 12k. I've maintained that 14.5 to 15,000. That's the exact target. 14.5 to 15,000. Those who understand Elliott wave and the patterns and the volume and the little pivot levels, they understand that is the exact target on the futures which we have to go off. If everyone's waiting at 12k, looking for some kind of ABC, right? So obviously the count that everyone's looking at now. Funny how they were not looking at this count when it was at 50k. Everyone's looking for that, right? So we get it. I still think 15k is where you want to be looking at this market. This market has a tendency to go after round numbers. The next big round number is obviously 15k. I think 15k breaking is a good buying opportunity on this market, assuming the dollar continues this bit of a downtrend that it's doing. The pound and the euro comfortably start raising, and I suppose the 10-year yield consolidates. Longer term, yes, yields are going much, much higher. Potentially dollar will reverse and go higher too. But some level of consolidation is needed. You know, markets cannot go up in a straight line. So nothing's really happened basically until since the last video. It's a very frustrating market. You know, it's very hard to make money in a sideways market like this. There's no such thing as options that I know of in the crypto atmosphere, which makes it very difficult. Obviously, if this was the S&P, you could initiate time decaying spreads. You can't really do that here. So what I'm working with is not a proper impulse as such, but some kind of contracted ending diagonal, right? So something like that. And I think that makes a lot of sense. All of my altcoins are so close. We can't go through all of them right now. We'll have a quick look at a few which we've mentioned before. That seems to make the most amount of sense. Maybe a couple more lows. The minute 15k gets taken out, then we're going to go higher. Now the dollar has sold off here 5-6% from the highs, but Bitcoin has barely budged. Is that showing strength in this market, or is that showing weakness? Right, you would have expected Bitcoin to be at least 23, 24k right now, but it's just not. So that to me is actually showing weakness. I think I would have to say once this high gets taken out, call it 23k, then of course it can't be some kind of impulse down, because then the 3 and the 4 would have gone above the wave too high. So I think a move above 23k would be bullish. I would be looking for upside continuation to these stops resting above here, right? So we know what the target is. These stops resting above this level here, 33k. But until that happens, this still has the potential for one more shakeout before the US midterms, then potentially. But like I said, longer term though, for more longer term investors, I don't think you can comfortably say this bear market is over until it comfortably trades within this exact range. And that is still quite a big drop. Now, The coins that we're looking at, I mean, there's over 20, 30 of them. We'll have a look at a few of them right now. I don't think much has changed. Very, very frustrating. How can ADA go sideways for over 3 months? That to me looks like a descending triangle. I mean, I've got the setup right there. I think it's a good buy. Somewhere around 0.25. I've got targets here as low as 0.2 and as high as 0.25, 0.26. We know what the target is because we've identified, I believe there were stops above here. Yeah. So we know what the target is. The target is here. So we have the target. I mean, you're a brave man to be buying within this consolidation. It looks like a descending triangle to me. So what Bitcoin price would facilitate a move down to 0.25? Would it be 12k? I don't think so. I think a move down to 15,000 on Bitcoin, another 25%, is enough to get ADA with a bit of panic, of course, and a move down in ADA BTC price too to about 0.25. I think that's a very good buy on ADA. I think that there's the potential for a move back up. So looking. This market is definitely getting very close to a buy, but we're not just there yet. This is still consolidating. Is that an accumulation ready to go up? I don't think so. So I think the next big panic sell-off in ADA is definitely buyable. That would be my target, 0.25. Let's have a look at another favorite of ours, Engine Coin. Once again, nothing's really changed. To me, it's still looking to go lower. Patience, is a big part in this game. It's not really there yet. As you can see, my alerts have been copied over, so I can give you the targets. They're 0.26 to around 0.33. That is really the area to be picking up Thomas the Tank Engine over here. It's not really ready yet. I've seen a count that is some kind of WXY, and that's completely valid. If that does happen, fine, it'll get to here, then it'll come back down. So it just doesn't really make any sense to play for that move, because if it continues to fall lower, that's really the buy. Then we could get a very nice bounce. Let's say it gets all the way down to 0.27. Very, very basic fibs. That is a huge move down. We call the exact top in Engine Coin when it happened late last year. And that's on the Facebook group documented. It was going to go to 5 when it was down here. The 50% fibs at 1.13. So is there potential for a move from 0.3, 0.25 down here somewhere, 0.27 all the way to 1? Potentially. And then we get another rollover. So I'm looking at these altcoins as great opportunity soon, but not yet. But we're very, very close. Now, can we share one last one? What else can I give away here? DOT. Yeah, that's an interesting one. So DOT, I believe my count, I mean, it's not looking the best, is it? But you can just read that as a straight impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're working on that 5. As you can see, I've got alerts here just underneath these lows here, right? And I believe there's also a fixed range volume profile for which the VPOC is, let me just bring up the session, visible range, there you go. I believe there's a VPOC here, yeah. So these VPOCs are like magnets, right? Those who have taken the masterclass, it's the mode of the volume based on everything you can see on your screen visibly, hence visible range. So that is the mode of the volume, i.e. the highest amount of volume or fairest price to do business. So why would you buy DOT at 6.33? Looking how weak the rest of the altcoins look, that is a magnet. Surely it's going to get to 4.85. Now, usually buying at the VPOC is somewhere where you want to offload a position. You don't want to enter there because there's a lot of chop, i.e. here. So it makes me think 4.78 is a very sensible place to at least consider an entry. And then if we get the full-blown fib target, a quick little shakeout towards 3.6, we could get a giant move coming out of there, okay? And I have done fib targets from before to suggest that is potentially a low there. There's a 1.382, there's a 2, and there's your 1, and there's your I mean, I don't think it gets as low as that. So there were reasons that I put an alert there. There's also a subtle 3-day demand block here coming at 3.3. So to me, DOT is getting very close. But once again, I don't think it's ready yet. I think it's working on its last wave 5 down here. If I was to bring it up on the daily chart, it seems too early. Now, notice that the VPOC has changed because visibly all you can see is the last 6 months of charts. So you need to properly zoom out, and then obviously it's going to change again. So that is actually the long-term VPOC for this market, 4.79. So it seems as though the market wants to get to at least that. How would you break this down? Probably a 1, probably a 2, and that's probably working on the 3, 4, 5. So it's something like that. So that's probably a 1. Oops, what have I done there? So let's just get the fib tool. 1, 2, and you see that? So, it seems a little bit early, but it's getting very, very close. So how much more of a move would that be down? Where was that VPOC again? It was around 4.14, was it? 33%, another 40%. DOT is getting very close. I think all of these altcoins are very good buys here pretty soon. So it's a great time to join the group now or once this move occurs. If it does occur, and I have a feeling that it will be. Even Solgado over a 33, it's not quite ready yet. You're not. I still think that can have one more push down. It's getting very close though. Salgado is very, very close. There's reason to believe Salgado is copying what Ethereum did in 2018. So the long-term, potential for Salgado is very high to the upside. I don't think it's ready yet. This doesn't, give me the impression that it wants to suddenly do this out of nowhere. And ABC, this still has lower to go. Quite flat here. There's no real end of the auction. It looks as though this trend line wants to break, do a retest. It's getting very close. I won't tell you exactly where it's going to go, but it's getting close. Sometimes the alerts aren't exact because you've got to do alerts before the actual target just to notify you of the actual target. I found a lot of the time, if you put the alerts on the exact price target, they never seem to get triggered by TradingView. So I've started to raise the alerts a little bit, about 5 or 6% above the actual price. For some reason, TradingView do that. So just something there to note for those who are interested. HBAR. It's not ready yet. I think HBAR I think it could take out the low from May, after which point it's probably due something like this. Also getting very close. So 13 minutes. Right, let's just recap then. Where's Bitcoin dominance? Yeah, see, I'm still of the opinion this is going to go higher, which means altcoins aren't going to do so well. My feeling is this can eventually get to 48%. It might take a month or 3 months, maybe 6 months to get up there. There may very well be some kind of end of quarter, end of year altcoin rally where it gets to around 44% and goes sideways, right? So we know Bitcoin or the altcoins do very well when the altcoin dominance goes sideways or down and Bitcoin just goes sideways. Right now, when Bitcoin dominance is going up, you want to really only be holding Bitcoin or stablecoin. I don't think altcoins are really ready yet. We need something like this for altcoins, this for altcoins, or this for altcoins. So there's been some very good altcoin seasons here. Obviously, the last couple of years have done very, very well. But right now appears to be, that's a very clear break of trend. That's a very clear break of trend. From an Elliott wave perspective, it just looks like a huge WXY. I think if you just WXY. So that can easily make it all the way right back up to the range highs here at 48%. So I wouldn't really be holding altcoins just yet, but believe me when I tell you, they're getting very close. AXS, AVAX, 17 on AVAX here. You got 17 on AVAX. It's come all the way down from 150. It might just do a run of this low. I think it goes slightly lower than this low, but just a run of this low and then boom, right? You've got to move there from 13 back up to 28. I think it goes slightly lower than this, but these lows that were formed back in June, it's very important to note all of them on your charts, because we could just do a shakeout pattern or a swing failure, as some people call it. I call it a shakeout pattern. That's what I've always called it. off these lows here. So these lows that were made back in late May and June, they're very, very important to note. BCH is the exact same. Hopefully we can pull this up here. Okay, it doesn't seem to want to play ball. So once again, I've actually got lower targets for BCH. But all I'm saying is the low that was formed back in summer, something to note there. If we just get a failure underneath those lows, all right? So, I mean, right now it's at 120. So can that go back to sub 100? I think so. There is actually another potential here to take out this low. And really, that is the aim there. That is the aim for BCH, to not make it towards 95, to make it all the way towards 73, form a shakeout pattern, form an S-curve pattern. You could get a huge move here. I mean, surely these altcoins are not just all going to go to zero here. It's gone from 1,500. That's a 93% move down. We've seen this before. Surely things are getting very close. I just don't think that they're there yet because of this as well. So this makes it very hard to justify any real, size in altcoins just yet. But once it gets up to here, or at least stall somewhat at the 50% range, which is probably around here somewhere, then we could get a bit of a B leg and then do a C leg. This move here would possibly be very good for the altcoins, but I'm on the 2-day, weekly, 3-day chart here, so that might take a few months to even get up here. So there is still the potential for an altcoin rally here towards the end of the year. It's just not here yet, but we're getting very, very close, and I think that's the aim there. Okay, good. So we're at 16 minutes. Let's just recap then. So longer term, we're still bearish. From a long-term perspective, I don't think you can really touch this market until at least sub 11k. I've got bearish counts as low as 3k. A more reasonable target, as I've mentioned about 6 months ago, is between 8 to 12,000. Short term, the target remains 14.3. That's the exact target, roughly, give or take $10 or $20 to 15,000. Bitcoin likes to go after round numbers. It's consolidating here at 20k. Is all of that accumulation? The dollar selling off, yet Bitcoin's going nowhere. That to me isn't showing strength at all. That is showing weakness. Everyone's got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count to 12,000. 12,000 seems a bit too much of a push from current levels. That would suggest another 40% decline. I think that's a little bit too much, although it is possible. I think more of a 24% decline. Once the altcoins hit my targets, which they're very, very close to, we then potentially get a nice little rally, and then we're going to fail again, right? So, we're going to be here for a while. I don't see 69k getting challenged this year or next year. I don't see this getting challenged this year or next year. Obviously, it's not going to get challenged this year. There's only 10 more weeks to the year now. In 2023, unless we have a significant crash in the S&P, like a full-blown V bottom, get into this area, S&P gets well below sub 3k, then maybe we could do a V bottom rally. So, but I'm not expecting this to get challenged for at least 6 months then. Let's not say the whole of next year. Let's just say until at least Q3 23, I don't expect 69k to get challenged in the next 9 months. I don't see that happening. If it is going to get challenged, then we need a gigantic reversal in the S&P from much, much lower levels. And that's not what we have right now. The S&P is still showing relative weakness. It has to go much, much lower, shake everyone out, basically kill the bull market. I mean, it's been dead to me for over nine months now, but has to be completely... no one can be invested in the S&P for it to bottom, and I just don't feel that we're there yet. Until it trades 2,400, 2,500, you can't really buy the S&P from a long-term perspective. And that's the issue. Everything is a trade until we comfortably trade the pre-pandemic highs and the pandemic lows on the S&P and on Bitcoin. Anyway, that's my current take. I think the altcoins are close. Great time to be joining the group now or soon. And hope that I don't raise any prices. And obviously, if you want to join the courses, you guys can have a look at that, and I'll catch you guys soon.